What's going on, YouTube? It's me, TheChrisPhoenix. Here for your Monday night Raw review, and tonight's Raw was in Cleveland, Ohio. And before I give my little thoughts and little review of it, overall, I thought Raw was actually a pretty darn good show tonight. I enjoyed Raw. I think from beginning to end, I pretty much enjoyed it. There was like maybe one part I thought, okay, was this really necessary? Because it's kind of random, but at the same time, it kind of, I guess you could say, in a, because at times I don't understand at times, excuse me, that you think of stuff like, oh, why is this here? Why is this happening? And in this particular way, you can understand about it. Think of it, oh, well, maybe that was there so to answer one question, or maybe a fan's question, or what if this happens? It kind of clears up type of deal, but I'll get to that later. So we start off the show very interesting. We had Jerry the King Lawler come out in the middle of the ring and saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the master of Thuganomics, John Cena." And John Cena came out, and I admit, for the first time in years, I was freaking out over what John Cena did in a positive way. John Cena came out, with his, coming out with his jersey and everything, and it's his hat and the chain, everything. It was the master of Thuganomics, and he came out with the master of Thuganomics music. I was surprised he even came out with it. I was like, what? And yes, John Cena rapped, and it was only for 4 to 5 minutes, but it was good. I was like, holy crap, this is actually good stuff. And the fans loved it in Cleveland. They loved every second of it. And you know what? It's something entertaining. It was something different, something interesting. And I think that's something what me, myself, and I think a lot of wrestling slash WWE fans, you could say, miss from seeing from John Cena. It's that right there. That was good. That was entertaining. To me, that was better than the freaking rap that John Cena did last year when, remember he rapped on The Rock and everything? He's like, oh, there's a pinwheel. You could blow me, that type of deal. And, the way John Cena was rapping, it wasn't a PG John Cena, too. That's another thing. It wasn't like, oh, hustle, loyalty, respect, and everything. Yada, yada, yada. No, he was just saying bitch and nuts, and everything. Like, he's like, oh, I might not have any balls, but my nuts will be in your face. It was just like, it was just really good. And you could tell John Cena was pissed and angry, and it was cool to see from John Cena. And I'm glad WWE actually, believe it or not, I'm glad they did that because that's something I think what WWE has needed from John Cena for the first time in a while. Just something that entertains us, something that just gets our attention, and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So that was pretty cool. And then Vicky Guerrero comes out, and of course, who does she introduce? The one and only, the man that she represents, Dolph Ziggler. So Dolph Ziggler comes out, whatnot, and then comes out the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's right, the Celtic Warrior fella, the 2012 Royal Rumble winner, Sheamus. So we have Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler. Match pretty good, and I'm surprised it actually lasted longer than I thought it would. I thought it was going to be typical, because let's face it, in the last month or so, Sheamus has been matches, at least one-on-one, that have been short. It seems like Sheamus has dominated matches from left to right, type of deal, real quick. But this was actually, it made both these competitors look good. It made Dolph Ziggler look good, but he wasn't giving up. And it made Sheamus look good because he was, battling off Dolph Ziggler for the longest time. I mean, this match got like, 12 to 14 minutes? Got a pretty long match, and it was a good match, very good match. Sheamus does win by hitting, the broke kick, but you know what? Still, overall good match. To me, it's one of those matches that, I think you lose, but you don't look too bad in losing, so it's all good, really, for me. And by the way, they did show Daniel Bryan and AJ were both up in the, the seats, whatever, they're watching the match. So then we have, it's official that at WrestleMania, it's going to be Team Leonidas versus Team Long. And, I know most people, probably thinking, oh, who gives a shit about this match? This match is kind of, like, seriously, who cares? I mean, at least it gives, because you guys know, obviously, there's not going to be Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, so it gives the mid-card guys like R-Truth, guys like Kofi Kingston, guys like Cody Rhodes, guys like Dolph Ziggler, it gives them something to do at WrestleMania. Hell, David Otunga, probably will have a match. So, it gives those guys that, who are not really known, I'm not going to say not really known, because that's the wrong word, that they're not, all that much on TV, a lot, compared to guys like John Cena and The Rock, obviously. It gives them some time, and we can see them in the ring and everything, so it just works out to me pretty good right there. And then we have a match. We have Santino versus David Otunga. And then we have Then we have, okay, we're gonna make a tag team match. Then we got, Xana in there with Santino. Then all of a sudden, it's like Mark Henry, and then next thing you know, freaking David Otunga, Mark Henry beat Santino, and basically I have a freaking handicap match. And then after the match, freaking we had Mark Henry and Otunga beating up Santino. Kofi Kingston tried making the save. He got his butt kicked. R-Truth came out. He got his butt kicked. So basically, it made, Team Leonidas look very strong here, and possibly gave, oh, wait a minute, John Leonidas his team might win at WrestleMania, and actually might have John Leonidas possibly be both the GM of Raw and the GM on SmackDown. And then, of course, as you guys know, The Miz is going to be at on Psych this coming Wednesday, and James Roday, the freaking main actor, the main character, for all you guys, he plays Sean Spencer on the show, and he was there. He's a big wrestling fan, and he was backstage with John Leonidas, and John Leonidas said that tonight Miz will have a match because the Miz was wondering why he's not having a match at WrestleMania. So I said, you know what, tonight you win, you're in. You beat CM Punk, you can be on Team Leonidas. Yeah, Miz was too happy. But again, it was in Cleveland, Ohio. Where's Miz from? Cleveland, Ohio. And then we have Eve Torres in the backstage with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's basically saying, oh, wait a minute, I'm confused with this kid, so you're using me, whatever, what's going on? And he basically tells them, we're just friends with benefits. I wasn't PG, but you know what, whatever. So then, Beth walks by and says, oh, because they were showing this whole Maria Menounos on Extra, whatever. And she's like, oh, how come I wasn't featured on that, blah, blah, blah. And, Beth's saying, oh, I like how you're pulling the strings with Zack Ryder. I wish, I'm sure you would let me do that. I'm like, would you mind, whatever? And then Eve's like, you know what? Yeah, I would mind. So, yeah. So they got Beth nothing to do at WrestleMania. So what are they going to do now? Turn Beth face and all of a sudden face Eve for the Divas title, and then, I don't know, they make Eve win until Karma comes back, and Karma basically clears house by beating up the Bella Twins and then fucking beating Eve to become Divas champion? I'm confused. So then we have the return of Brodus Clay. That's right, guys. We got Brodus Clay. And, I'll be honest with you, I'm glad we saw Brodus Clay coming back. And he actually faced Jinder Mahal. As you expect, the match wasn't very long. Brodus Clay won. Yada, yada, yada. But, hey, again, it was good to see Brodus Clay back. We haven't seen him in weeks. WWE, of course, you guys know that he was too rough and everything, too physical. But, he looked fine tonight. And, hopefully good things will happen for Brodus Clay. So then came Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, a Heartbreak Kid. As you guys know, special guest referee at WrestleMania between Taker and Triple H in the Hell in a Cell. And, he basically come out there, and then after, he got a good old reaction talking about, Triple H and The Undertaker, and then now comes the dead man himself, The Undertaker. And I don't think many people have noticed this. I've seen from videos. You guys notice Undertaker's not talking like the dead man, he's not like, Triple H will rest in peace. He's not talking like that. He's talking like, kind of like the Big Evil, talking like the dead, Big Evil, American Badass. He's talking like a normal human being would actually talk, not like a dead man. But, I actually thought that was actually kind of interesting. And I actually like this side of The Undertaker. It's kind of like, it's not the same thing over and over again type of deal. It's not repetitive. It's good. And these guys cut a good promo against each other, Shawn Michaels saying, oh, isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic how you ended my career and I can end your streak still, even when I'm retired? How ironic. How is it ironic? And it looked like, at the end, Shawn Michaels was going to sweet chin music Undertaker. Shawn Michaels got out of the ring, patted him on the shoulder, and then out comes Triple H. Did nothing but the little crotch chop right there in front of Taker, and then just left. So basically the promo was going all good, and then Triple H comes out of nowhere and does a crotch chop. Okay. So then we have The Miz versus CM Punk. James Roday was the special guest ring announcer. Good match between Miz and Punk. I think a lot of us that, clearly see, oh, The Miz is on a losing streak. And honestly, The Miz did lose. He tapped out the Anaconda Vice by CM Punk. And let's face it, it seems like WWE doesn't have much for Miz right now. They're still doing the whole, oh, well, you got low ratings for us on Survivor Series, all your fault. Even though I don't think it's his fault, but, what else? It's just, maybe WWE can turn him face, maybe, and maybe he'll get on a winning streak. I don't know. Maybe one of those storylines that they're doing for him. I have no idea. So, and then afterwards, we had a little promo, you could say, a little promo on the Titantron by the one and only, claims that he's the best in the world at what he does, Chris Jericho, and said that, I know reason why. I know a dark secret. I know why you are straight edge. It's because your dad's a drunk. And you got all those tattoos because of all the pain that you thought, that you were thinking about your childhood and everything. Because you don't want to be a drunk. And you know what? At WrestleMania, I'm going to take your title, and you're going to be a drunk and everything. And, it was just a good little promo. And it actually looked like Punk was going to cry. I kid you not. It looked like Punk was going to cry. I was like, wow. But I was pretty shocked. But anyway. So then we had a little match between Randy Orton, that's right, the Viper, Randy Orton versus Jack Swagger. He is the one and only former United States champion, Jack Swagger. In the match, it was okay. Didn't last all that long. Orton hits the RKO. Orton wins. Then Kane's music comes out. Orton's looking all around. No Kane to be seen. So, just Kane playing mind games with Randy Orton, and they just basically need to make it official that Orton versus Kane at WrestleMania, because that's what it's leading to. So as I said earlier in this video, how we had John Cena rapping, and how I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty entertaining. So now we have, last but not least, The Rock in concert. As you guys know, it's probably, the third time The Rock's been in concert. He did it first with Stone Cold Steve Austin, back in WrestleMania 19. And then he did it with Goldberg, I think, a month or two later. And now he's doing it with John Cena. And honestly, first of all, I want to say the Cleveland crowd was pretty good tonight. And, it was just overall, I thought how do I say this? The, Rock and concert was pretty entertaining. It was fun to watch. It was entertaining. It was pretty funny, too. So was it as good as Rock's rapping? Yeah, not Rock's rapping, excuse me, John Cena's rapping. And I want to say that, it was pretty close, but honestly, I think maybe I prefer John Cena's rapping, maybe just because we haven't seen that side of Cena for so long. But anyway, The Rock in concert was entertaining. I liked it. It was funny. The Rock's talking about how, John Cena made out with Eve, whatever, it's true. But, does John Cena's wife know about it? Divorce lawyers, and he was just going off and everything. It was pretty funny. They did still mention the whole Free Pebbles and the whole John Cena has no lady parts and stuff. And that it's still like, okay, really? Again, it's getting old, but still. It was funny, entertaining, and the Rock basically started singing "We Will Rock You," basically from Queen. So, anyway, that was Raw. Sorry for this video being a little longer than usual. I enjoyed it. That was a good show. Wonder what you guys think. Video response if you want. Comment down below if you want. And that's it for me. I don't know what else to say. By the way, guys, if you don't know, I'm in GOG.